Hey, what's good guys? My name's Chris. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today we got the performance review on these bad boys right here. This, my friends, is the Nike Cosmic Unity. So this performance review is based off of outdoor only performance. I'm in California, so we still have closed gyms around here. Actually, the gym's just opened, but the basketball court is closed. So again, all of my thoughts and all of that stuff is going to be based solely off of playing on a blacktop surface, not on a hardwood surface. If there are any performance reviews on these guys out there on the web based on indoor performance and you're an indoor player, I would recommend go watching their reviews or reading them. It depends on where they are. Sometimes they're not on YouTube. And with that being said, these are f***ing awesome. So first things first, how can you mess this up? Well, you can.
Did they?
No, they didn't. This is primetime 90s style Nike basketball right here. I'm talking about like the Shake and Destructs, the Darwins, stuff like that. Things that were made for both indoor and outdoor. That's how this stuff feels. The traction here, using it outside, it worked beautifully. I had no issues whatsoever. Even when I stepped on them damn lines, they were kind of slick. I was good to go, man. So I absolutely love this stuff. However, there is lots of wear and tear on my high wear areas. Again, I said this in the previous performance review that was like an outdoor
Curry
video?
8.
Oh yeah, the Curry 8s. Very similar thoughts here, where I did actually mention it first in the Kyrie 7 performance review that was never published because there was all kinds of crazy shit going on. Didn't get a chance to finish editing and uploading that video. Also a great shoe. But when you play outside and you can see where your high wear areas are, you could just see what your foot strikes are like, which I think is really interesting because this is what you as a runner see when you clock in all these miles and stuff. Now, granted, I haven't clocked in the amount of miles that a runner would, which is a downside to when you're considering an outdoor basketball shoe, which is like, oh, I've only played in these how many times and they already, you know what I mean? But I will say that it's lasted longer than I thought it would, and it's lasted longer than the Kyrie 7. The Kyrie 7 I blew through in about 2 days.
That's terrible.
I had bald spots on my outsole.
What a little bitch!
These guys just have some chafing, some rubber missing. Just kind of depends. You can tell that like my right foot is my dominant foot because like the rubber is kind of gone in certain areas. Whereas on my left foot, I look like I have a little bit of a lighter strike, but you can see where things are just starting to fray off and stuff. But overall performance, I have no complaints. I fucking love this. Like, this is the way to go. Unless it's radial, I don't think that you should use anything else. There's no reason to, unless it's the Kobe 9 traction. Now, as far as the cushion is concerned, these guys are really interesting because it feels like Kyrie and the KD had a baby. And what I mean by the KD and the Kyrie having a baby is that this kind of gives you the best of everything. The new Kyries give you great court feel still, which is what the Kyrie line originally did, but they actually have upgraded the cushion since then, which is awesome because now they use Zoom Air in the forefoot instead of the heel. And I think that it feels great. And on top of that, the sculpting is very similar. So you got all of this round, but it's still flat throughout the middle. So you have lots of stability, lots of maneuverability, which gives you just an easier time moving around on the court, especially when you get old like me. It feels good.
That's what she said.
However, when you do that, you also will sacrifice cushion, usually. But Nike's been smart with these guys where they use Zoom Air for what Zoom Air was originally intended for, which is low profile cushioning, giving you maximum impact protection while still maintaining low to the ground feel. It's the best cushion in the world, dude.
I guarantee it.
There is nothing better than Zoom Air, in my opinion. Completely biased, and I get that. I like what I like, but I gotta say, man, Zoom Air is just awesome. And the interesting part about the cushion on these guys is that you sit mad low on these, man. Like when I saw that chopped, somebody cut these in half, and I was like, holy shit. Like, you really do sit real low on the floor. It's just a great feeling, man. Now the materials, they're just textile. They're really thick and stuff, so it is what it is. It's not bad or anything like that. It's done a really good job of, I guess, offsetting the bulkiness or the bulky feel of the tooling and everything, because even though these are very low profile on the court, as far as like how you sit, the exaggerated tooling and everything does feel a little stiff. These are not the most flexible things. So having that upper be textile and be easily broken in, I think is a good thing. And on top of that, again, it is thicker, so for outdoor use, it's great. It doesn't offer a lot of airflow, but the tongue does. So I was actually surprised by that. The tongue has just straight up hole punches in there. Reminds me a little bit of the Nike Torch system that they used in the Kobe 5s and 6s, which is one of my favorite, or not one of, it is my favorite feeling tongue sleeve thing. for footwear. Dirty-minded mother. Now, as far as fit is concerned, I would recommend going true to size. However, that inflexibility or whatever, like that's in the forefoot, you will be able to feel it at least on one of the shoes. So like one of your feet is usually bigger than the other, like just naturally. It's probably not a huge variance or anything like that. It's probably like just slight, but it's slight enough to where I think my left foot is my smaller foot. And so that's the foot where I felt like my heel right in the beginning of every session, kind of like, you know, feels like it's like moving a little bit extra versus the right one was like, I was completely sucked in and locked and all that stuff, and it felt great. However, the longer that I was on the court, so the more that I broke the shoe in, the better it felt, and I was just able to adjust the laces and, you know, do things accordingly. So again, I would recommend going true to size. However, if you're a wide footer, I'd recommend trying them on because they are a little bit snug. It's an ideal fit for me, but it might not be for everyone. And then the overall lockdown, like I was saying, it felt great on my right foot. On my left foot had that little issue with the heel popping. Not a big issue because the more that I would wear them, the more that I broke them in, the more flexible they got. It's just right in the beginning, they're just stiff. Like right now in hand, they've just been sitting in my gym bag and they're a little stiff, but once I get out on court, like they start molding and all of that stuff. Also, the insole is the Kobe 6 insole, which does mold to your foot. They provided that in the KD13s as well. That insole, right from the beginning, it'll cause a little bit of blistering and stuff like that until it does mold because it's a little stiff as well. But once it does mold to your foot, man, it just feels amazing. I really like insoles that do that. The break-in process of the molding, it's a bummer. So if we could bypass that somehow, that'd be great, but at least like it was worth it in the long run, you know?
To circle back to what you were talking about, the wear on your guys' traction. So way back in my early days of being a runner, I got fitted at this place, I believe it's called Road Runner Sports in Campbell. Running shoe stores are great, like really good ones, because they'll actually let you...
Running specific shoe stores.
Yes, not like...
Not a Dick's Sporting Goods. Or...
I didn't want to like throw shade at them. They're great for other things.
That's different. That's a you go in, you're looking for something, they probably have it, and you leave. We're talking about running specific. A
really good place will be like, bring in what you've been running in. And it's always made me a huge stickler for my running shoes are my running shoes, my casual shoes are my casual shoes. I do not let them mix and mingle because a good person who knows their job in that area can take your shoe, flip it over and be like, oh, this is how you're striking and this is the kind of shoe you need. And then they'll put you on a treadmill, they'll send you out to the streets, let you do your thing, come back in, ask you how you felt. So I think it's weird, and I don't know how you would do it with basketball, but I just think it's really important that you keep your athletic shoes separate from your regular shoes so you can really find out what's happening under your feet.
So for basketball shoes, it's a little bit different because basketball crossed into the lifestyle category a long time ago, back in the 80s and stuff. So your basketball shoe might be your everyday shoe.
No, and I get that, but
especially when you're a kid.
But for you guys who this is what you do.
So that's the thing. So since being an adult,
yes.
And being able to afford certain luxuries and stuff like that. Typically, I'll take my old indoor shoe and that's my new outdoor shoe. Like I don't go and buy a shoe to go play outside. You know what I mean? Like I might like, that's gonna be my outdoor shoe. But I do understand that like some people don't have access to indoors and I am now one of those people. So if I wanna play in this shoe, outdoors my only option. So it's like, oh, I do need to know, you know what I mean? So it's been very interesting. Usually when I test a shoe, it's indoor and then outdoor and then I give the performance review. So I get a little bit of both, but it's never been solely outdoors to where you can see like how you're striking and like it'll be like a quick like few hours and be like, all right, yeah, they play well outside too, you know what I mean? Mostly I'm looking at cushion because the outside, like, and you know that sometimes when I'm done playing outdoors, I can't walk for a couple days, like it kind of sucks. So when it's like that, like that's what I'm usually testing an outdoor shoe for. Right now it's only outdoor, so everything from grip to durability is kind of being tested. Whereas when you play on hardwood, unless that rubber is super soft, which does happen a lot nowadays, you won't typically see wear and tear, at least not in the 90s. Today though, where it's just like they've removed a lot of the rubbers, and you've seen this too, where like some of my shoes, just the rubber breaks off, and that's hardwood only. And so when it's like that, I feel like that's a problem in the sneaker industry, but the brands do such a good job of marketing that these are lighter, so they're better. When in reality, whenever you hear that, it's we removed material, therefore it's cheaper for us to manufacture and import. Oh, and by the way, they're gonna be $180. And like, we're just like, okay, you know what I mean? And like, that's how people are. And it's not the truth or whatever. Luckily, these are only $150. I like the way that this is priced. I like the way that it plays. And I think that this is a fantastic shoe. So if you were interested in it, then obviously like I give my stamp of approval. But anyways, thank you so much for for watching. Thanks for all the support. If you need any more information, check the link in the description box below. It'll head you over to WearTesters.com where you can check out their price, their weight, their scores. And with that being said, I hope that you guys, if you end up with a pair, enjoy them. And with that being said, y'all have a good one.